Hey everybody, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for another Memory Planning Monday video. If you'd like to see what I'm going to do in Project Life this week, stick around. What's up, friends? Thanks for joining me today. This is going to be a combo because I had less photos than normal for one of my weeks, and so I thought I would try to combine like one spread for 2 different weeks. And it happened that the second week that I'm using, combining, has a lot of photos. So yeah, we're going to combine the two. So it's going to be weeks 17 and 18. So the 2 weeks together, which means next week, I will probably not be sharing a Project Life video, but I might share maybe like a process video for my Disney album that I'm working on. And I did show some of that on my Instagram. So make sure you are following me over there so you don't miss that. But here are the photos I have for the week, for the 16th, the week of the 16th. I'm sorry, the week 17. So, Monday night I had some wine and caught up with 2 of my dearest, oldest friends, which was lovely. And it's black and white because we had just like all different crazy colors on. So that's what I do if I know the colors might end up being nuts. And then Tuesday, I don't know if there was anything. I'd have to look, but I have this picture. This was either Tuesday or Wednesday. Nora had her friend over. We were still with one car at this point. And I was so stressed out that I ended up breaking out in hives all over. So I took a picture. That's my arm. I'm probably going to cover that up with something because nobody wants to look at that, but I wanted to document it. And then there is Nora living her best life and the bath bomb that she got that actually like turned rainbow colors as it was going, which was pretty cool. And then a photo of this gorgeous tree on our walk. And then Sunday night, we went to dinner with Nora's friend after our church had this like talent share thing, which was really cool. So that was it for that week, which isn't a lot for me. So I'm going to combine it with photos from the next week. And rather than like split it into 2 videos, because I like to have it, since it's all going to be together, like one spread over 2 pages, I want to plan it all at the same time. So I already put photos in here in the order I think I want them. But this was this past week. So you can see it was like the week of the beginning of May. And so my husband made chapjay one night, which is one of my favorite Korean dishes. It was Teacher Appreciation Week. So those were all the things that were going on at our school that I had organized because I'm the PTA president. And Nora got her caterpillars, which we get every year. And then I just snapped this picture of Nora and Matt in the hallway because she wanted him to push her like in the laundry basket, which he did when she was a baby. But, you know, she's like almost 70 pounds now, so it's just really funny. And then she had a really rough night one night. I'll talk more about that in my voiceover, but that is a photo of us. And then when she was feeling better, I took her to the library, and since it's Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, they had like a little display, and we have some of these books, but she did not have that one. That's new. So she grabbed that book. And over the weekend, I sanded our table. So that's me sanding the table and spray painting it. And Friday nights was get takeout. So this is from my favorite Korean restaurant. And actually, ironically enough, the next day was the first day our city had their outdoor farmers market, and the owner of this restaurant's son is right here. So it's just kind of funny that all this happened. And there's Nora and Noah. And also on that day, I was in the school, like I said, for Teacher Appreciation Week. So I was in the school all day. So I stopped up in Nora's classroom, and she wanted to show me how they do robotics. So I took a picture of the kids doing that. And then she had a play date on Sunday. Yes, Sunday. Her friends came over, and that's the farmer's market. That's like downtown. So lots of photos, lots of stories to tell. This week I am going to try to use mostly items from the most recent Paper Person kit, which is gorgeous and has some really pretty colors in it. So I've shared this in a Flip Through Friday haul. If you're interested in seeing that, you can definitely go check out the playlist. But I am going to speed up the camera and get started. So let's go. Okay, so this is sped up times 10 because I think it took me about 2.5 hours to complete this whole thing. So I don't think you guys want to sit here for that long. So you're welcome. So I am trimming down some of that 6x8 blue marbled paper, and that's what I'm going to use throughout both weeks. And I chose a few Distress Oxide inks, even though the only one I used ended up being Salty Ocean, I believe. And a couple of Washis, because I always have my washi on my spreads. And then I pretty much stuck to the paper person kit, which was awesome, because I don't usually stick to kits. Although, of course, I did mix in a lot of my other embellishments, and you'll see me get to that in a second. But I really wanted to use these gold rub-ons. I did scrapbook a little tiny bit back in the day, like in college, and I remember rub-ons were like all the rage, and so to have them back is just fun and kind of feels a little bit nostalgic. I'm obsessed with these baby pink alphas. They're like almost, yeah, they're like a pinkish white. I love the color, and the quality is amazing. So I spelt out besties underneath this picture of myself and my friends, and I love these puffy hearts. If they're still in stock, I'm probably gonna order another pack because I just love them. And here I'm trying to decide what labels to use. I go with these fun labels from a recent Studio Calico subscription kit. I think it came from the Grove subscription kit, if I'm not mistaken, because I noticed that there were some pretty blues and pinks that I thought would work with the week's spread, which are my main colors. So y'all know, if you've been watching these videos, I always forget to put the date on the photos, so I end up doing that as like an afterthought a lot of the time. But here I remembered, so yay me for remembering, at least just for that one photo. And I also want to bring in a few of these gold foiled die cuts. So I have spring, and then I'm going to use the April and the May. I tried to fit in a couple of the other ones, but they were a little bit too large for my 3x4 photos. So you'll see that those are the ones I stick with. And then these are some circular labels from an older Heidi Swapp Stop the Blur kit. And the shades of pink and blue work perfectly. So I like to trim them in half and have them peeking over the edge of photos. And what that does is, one, obviously allows me to do a bit of journaling, but two, it also provides the option of covering up some parts of the photos that I don't really want to be shown. So I love doing that. And then I end up using some of those puffy stickers that I recently hauled in a Studio Calico add-on sale that they had. I love the florals, so I use those throughout the spread as well. So the repeating elements are, you know, those puffy hearts, the rub-ons, the die cuts, the puffy stickers from Studio Calico, and the washi. And then I'll do some stamping. I decided to do most of my stamping in that Versamagic Cloud White ink. I really like it, and it works so well on these matte photos that I get printed at Walmart. So it doesn't work as well on glossy photos. Actually, it doesn't really work at all. So, and here and there, I'm sprinkling in some chipboard pieces from Studio Calico kits as well. I think I do add a couple of Ali Edwards in there, but that more fun element came from Studio Calico. The practice of rubbing on these embellishments is extremely therapeutic, just FYI. I was trying to figure out how I wanted to, I basically am making my own little journaling cards here by cutting up that larger 6x8 paper and then embellishing it with the washi, the rub-on, the die cut, and then the puffy heart. And then every week I use these alphas from Heidi Swapp, the Destination Alphas. They're a 3x4 set, and I can stamp the weeks. So I stamp weeks and then 17 and 18. There was no ampersand, so I just used that like parentheses, and it was fine. So then I put the little boots on there. I thought those looked perfect on the bottom of this card, and then added a couple of the florals. And I'm shuffling through the chipboard to see if there's anything else I can add, but I didn't love anything, so I ended up putting this little black word strip sentiment that I can't read right now. because it's sped up so fast. I think it says live life in bloom or something. So then I'm going to use the alphas again to spell out friends. I just love that photo of Nora and Landon. And that was his first time over at our house. And they've been friends since kindergarten. And they're the ones, I don't know if you saw me document last year in my memory planner, but they were at Disney at the same time as us. And so we got to hang out with him. And they got to go on a couple of rides together, which was really fun. And I'm sure I'll talk about it a little bit more next week when I take a pause from this project to share my Disney album that I'm working on. So now I'm going to journal on this 3x4 card. It's really great. I love these because they're wonderful story prompts, and sometimes they make me think outside the box for what I want to share as far as like our journaling and what happened that week. So this one's really neat. It's like hoping for, wearing, kind of like a currently card. And then I'm like, how the heck am I going to journal about this disgusting hive rash situation? And so I use one of the die cuts that's got it's like a label. And I journal on that. And then I take another label and stamp in the salty ocean the sentiment from this paper person stamp set that I purchased a couple months ago. It's probably one of my favorites, and it says more issues than Vogue, which is hilarious because I was definitely having more issues than Vogue this week. So I thought that was perfect, and it kind of covers up some of the hives, but like nobody needs to see all that, right? Like you get the idea. Nora's gonna look back on it someday and be like, ew, why? Like, I was so busy doing life. This is what happened to mommy. And then just embellishing the front of that really bright photo of the bath bomb there. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Doing some journaling. I think I'm going to put that on the bath bomb picture. Nope, I lied. I'm putting it on the picture of Nora and her friend at dinner. Such cuties. And I'm going to use the alphas one more time to spell this. And there was no exclamation point, so I kind of used my X-Acto knife there to, well, I did trim off the edges of a 1 and then put a little dot for the exclamation. There was a period in there, so I used that. And then I finished that half, so now I'm working on the next week. Actually, I should say I finished that week, and now I'm working on week number 18. And I'm spelling out japchae on top of the photo of the japchae. So delicious. And my husband like grilled the steak that went on it. Oh my goodness, it was delish. And her friend ended up staying, she came over after school and ended up staying, she wanted to stay for dinner, and I was like, are you sure, like, we're having Korean food? And she was like, yep. So yeah, it was fun. It was really cool. And kind of ironic, it wasn't planned that it was like during AAPI Heritage Month. Like every month is AAPI Awareness Month for me. But it was kind of neat that it happened to be this month, and Nora's friend got to try it for the first time. So I'm not really going to do anything to that photo of the Teacher Appreciation Week because it says everything on there, so I don't want to cover any of it up. And that's the actual like canvas that we had printed out and hung on the faculty room door. And I did the journaling off camera, and I stamped, well, this didn't go as planned on the top of it because it's just the journaling about how rough the week was. And the story basically is, Monday and Tuesday were like fairly typical. It was insanely busy because of Teacher Appreciation. I organized and coordinated everything for the entire week, and I was there every single day for the most part, except for, I think, Wednesday. Tuesday I had an eye doctor appointment, and Wednesday I had a dermatology appointment where I got like a million needles in this huge plaque that I have on the side of my body right now because I have psoriasis. So that wasn't fun. And then to top it off, I had that rash earlier in the week because of stress, or not earlier in the week before because of stress. And then there was also a PTA meeting, and what else? There was something else. But then Nora, so she had been having stomach aches all week. And so I finally called her GI doctor and said, like, what do we do? And she was like, well, give her Miralax. Start with 1 capful. So 24 hours later, poor Nora was so sick. She literally, if you've ever had colonoscopy prep, and I'm sorry if this is TMI, but that's essentially what happened to her. And she was going to the bathroom literally all night. Like, she started when she got home from school Wednesday and did not stop going to the bathroom until like 4:30 in the morning Thursday, until finally we gave her Imodium to stop it. And yeah, it was a mess, and a literal mess. Like, it was one of those nights where we were like up in the middle of the night doing laundry because, you know, things happened and she was in our bed, and oh, the poor thing. I feel so terrible for her, and it was awful. Like, colonoscopy prep is dreadful as an adult. Like, imagine being 7 and having this happen to you and having it be the first time, because this hasn't happened before. So she was just a mess. We got about 3 hours sleep. And so Thursday, she was home with me for a sick day. And she felt better, like, towards the end of the day, around like 3 o'clock. So I ended up taking her to the library, which was great. But other than that, it was so rough. I could not wait till the end of the week. So while I was sharing my sob story, some of the things you saw me doing, I don't think I need to really explain everything I'm doing because you're watching it. But yeah, just using some more of those rub-ons and picking out the perfect embellishments for each photo as I see fit. And then, you know, journaling off camera if I can. And you saw me at one point go back and stamp dates because, again, forgot. And there I just sliced off the top of that label, which said on the list, because I didn't want it to say that. So I just trimmed it off with my X-Acto knife. Figuring out how to embellish this photo of Nora and Noah. I also selected that Good Eats chipboard piece from a Studio Calico kit. And yeah, used the labels to do a little bit of journaling, brought in some more of those puffy florals and slid it into the pocket there. So now I'm like making myself stamp the dates because I'm like, you keep forgetting, lady, stamp the dates. And then I went back and embellished that photo of Nora and I after her awful night. It says, let's never speak of this again. I'm not kidding. Well, this is a mess. Little, medium, big, huge, and then cringe. Afterwards, I do put on another chipboard embellishment on the top right that says nope, because I used the other one that said yep. So that was the perfect way to use both of those chipboard pieces. And then I'm going to add a little bit of journaling on this photo of Nora doing robots at school. And I like to tape the photos together so that they don't slide around, you know, the front and the back. I covered up the top of this photo with some washi and journaling and embellished it with a few of those puffy stickers. The florals look super cute. I love those. Any kind of puffy sticker. And then I am obsessed with rub-ons apparently now. So I thought it would be perfect to put it on the top where it's blue so it really stands out, and it just says fresh air feels so good, because it was the first week that the farmers market was outside all year. Usually in the winter, you know, and in the spring, the beginning of the spring, and in the beginning of the fall, it's indoors. But this was the first week it was outside, so it was totally packed. People come from like all over because we have an epic farmers market, and this is actually downtown Troy. So it's just a historical, gorgeous area. And I did quite a bit of journaling. I needed a larger label, so I used a bigger one from a Studio Calico kit. And then I used that other half of the paper I trimmed down in the beginning that I had turned into 3x4 cards on week 17, and used this just as sort of a title card. And I tried to sort of mimic the way that I used the one on week 17, the 3x4, where I embellished it with the rub-ons and the die cut, the washi, and then the puffy heart. And I think it brings it together pretty nicely. I don't know that it necessarily matches the right side of the page, but it definitely matches the left, and that's what I was going for there. So now you're going to see me share close-ups of the weeks together, and I'm going to stop talking so you can watch this. So please do me a favor and like this video if you did. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future content. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, my super sweet friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye!